Toward the end of last year, I started consulting as a student success coach at a company. And I noticed that by the time we hit December, there was a lot of chatter about goals, about 2026 plans, and a lot of things along that line. Now, I also observed that a lot of the students could clearly name their goal, but they struggled to know how to break it down into work that they could actually do with limited time. So a lot of them were like, how can I break this down? I have only limited hours to work in a day. You see, big goals that are not broken down lead to overwhelm, inconsistency, and burnout before you even start, because you have this big goal. You don't know how to break it into small chunks so that you can actually achieve it. So you see people struggling to accomplish their goals, not because they lack discipline or desire, but they don't have a process to help them break down that goal into a way that fits into their real life. In today's episode, I'm sharing the exact 3-step process I used to launch my coaching and consulting business. So if you have launched a service-based business as a goal on your vision board, on your goal list for 2026, this episode is for you. I'm going to walk you through the exact same step that I took while consulting as a student success coach, without staying up all night, without guessing what to work on each day when I sit down to work, and launching my business. So if you're ready like I am, tune out the road noise and the distracting thoughts, and let's get started. Welcome to Start That Business podcast, where I help professionals working a corporate job step boldly into their God-given calling to start a service-based business. If that sounds like you, you are in the right place. My name is Chichi Ukomadu. I'm a Jesus follower, a business strategist, and an implementation coach. I knew I was called to start a business, but I struggled with lack of clarity, self-doubt, and the fear of losing a stable income. My lack of courage kept me stuck in corporate until I traded it for faith and obedience to God's calling. I left corporate, built a 7-figure service-based business, and ran it for 13 years. Now I want to help you do the same. You don't have to stay stuck in fear, self-doubt, lack of clarity, because God has already equipped you to launch the business He has placed on your heart. It's time to partner with God and start that business. Your expertise is needed, your calling is real, and I'm here to help you make it a reality. Last week, Saturday, I had the opportunity to attend a goal-setting workshop at my church organized by the women's ministry. It was an amazing session. We were empowered by the speaker who presented so passionately, and we spent the rest of the time creating our vision board. One of the things she shared during the workshop is a goal without a strategy is just a wish. Now, it reminded me of my favorite quote from James Clear, the author of the Atomic Habits book. James Clear says that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of the systems you've put in place. So if I put both of them together, a goal without a strategy and the systems to implement the strategy is just a wish. It's not going anywhere. Now, if you're like me, maybe you've heard the word BHAG. BHAG simply means big, hairy, audacious goals. A lot of people are setting BHAGs right now. Your BHAG might be to lose 30 pounds this year. Your BHAG might be to start your service-based business while you're working your corporate job. Your BHAG might be to do something really big that when you think about it, it makes you uncomfortable. Whatever your BHAG is, if you don't have a strategy and a system in place to get it done, that goal is going to be looking at you when you go into 2027 because you were not able to get it to the finish line. I'm going to focus on the strategy part in today's episode, and maybe in another episode, I would talk about the systems part. Now, when I was launching my coaching and consulting business, I didn't have endless time. I couldn't work through the night. As a matter of fact, my husband told me, you can no longer work all night, because he saw what it did to me the following day when I worked all night. So I had these limitations and I knew that I had to work around them. I sat down and I created a strategy, my 3-step process that helped me break down the big goal into weekly work that I could do between Monday to Friday, no weekends, so that I could relax on weekends and reset and spend time with my family. It gave me the clarity every time I sat down with the limited time I had to know what to do. There was no guessing, no decision fatigue. I always knew exactly what I was working on. When I was running my global logistics brand, we used a goal-setting framework called OKR. My 3-step process or strategy that I created was from this framework called OKR, was the inspiration I used to create my 3-step process. So let me walk you through what that looks like when you have a BHAG. So let's say, for instance, your BHAG is to launch and grow a profitable service-based business while working a corporate job. So that's the BHAG. It's big, it's uncomfortable. You set a goal, okay, I want to do this in 12 months. Now, your objective, which is the O in the OKR, becomes a small focus that you will focus on for a limited time that adds up to accomplishing the BHAG. So your objective can be successfully launch my service-based business with my first paying client. So that can be your objective. Then when you go to the key results are the tangible things that you can actually measure to say, okay, yes, I did this and I was able to accomplish my objective and also accomplish my goal or my BHAG. Now, the key results can be to define and validate one core offer, to set up your client workflows, to publish your marketing assets, to book and complete your first sales call. Notice that these things can be measured. So you can ask yourself, did I book my first sales call? And the answer is a yes or a no. So using the inspiration from the OKR, let me walk you through my 3-step process that I use to launch my coaching and consulting business while consulting as a student success coach. The first step in my 3-step process is to build the foundation. So this is my first objective, to build the foundation. Now, under this objective, my focus here is to create a structure before I begin to build visibility. So think about your legal structure, think about your accounting structure, think about your brand positioning. Who are you serving? What are you helping them do? Who are you helping? What are the solutions you are offering? So this is where I set up the business to actually function. Some of the key components I have here, like I already mentioned, is the legal, the financial, the client workflow, the lead, the offer. I'm also creating the offer here because it's part of my foundation. I have to have something to sell. The way I'm delivering the offer, so my delivery systems, my offer, clarity, everything has to do with my operations. And you might say, oh, I don't have operations yet. Well, when you are building the foundation, you're creating the beginning parts of your operation. So you might not have a big operation like someone who is already running a 7-figure service-based business, but you have a basic layout for your operations, which is your legal entity, your accounting structure, the offer that you created, how you're delivering those offer, the workflows that will help you provide an excellent customer experience. So these are all the things that come under the foundation. The focus in this step is to establish the business structure, to establish the services and the systems needed to deliver them well. This is also where confidence is built, because if you jump to visibility and you start posting on social media, you start doing all the things, maybe marketing and all of that, without your foundation in place, you will not have the confidence to show up and provide the transformation that you're talking about on social media or your marketing ads or campaign. So this is where many people skip and they later struggle, because it takes a lot of your time to build the foundation, to set up your legal structure, to set up your policies, to set up your contracts, to create your offer, to create the services, to create the workflow, the systems that help you deliver that service well. A lot of people want to skip this part because it's not an exciting work, but it's a work that is important. And when it's done, it creates the solid foundation for you to build a 6-figure service-based business, a 7-figure service-based business. So this is the first step I took. I built my foundation. Now, the second step in my 3-step process was to build my visibility platforms. Now, what is this step about? This step is making it easy for the right people to find me, trust me, and take the next step. So if you hear visibility, means people can actually see what you're doing. So that was the second step in my 3-step process, to build my visibility systems, to build my visibility platforms. So some of the key components in this step is my brand message and positioning, what I'm going to say when I post on social media or I post in my marketing campaigns, my lead magnets. This is where I create my lead magnet, my marketing assets, my email list, email marketing, my social media platforms. If I'm doing any community, this is where I create those, my website. This is where all that fun stuff is happening. Notice that this is where a lot of people want to run to because it's exciting. I want to see my pretty graphics for my social media platforms. I want to work on my marketing assets. I want to build my email list. I want to build my website. These things are exciting. But if you've not built your foundation and you come here, when you attract the clients and they come, you are not going to be able to sustain because you don't have the foundation to give them an excellent experience. The focus in this step is to build a system that helps you capture leads, nurture the relationships you have with those leads, and also close a sale and support them consistently without the daily pressure of showing up everywhere and all the time. So that is the focus here. That's what we're trying to accomplish in this step by building your visibility system, building your visibility platforms. All of that is happening in step 2. The step 3 of my process is launch and grow. Now, this is where you open up to the public. This is where you go live. This is where you are no longer working behind the scenes on this service-based business. You are moving from preparation to going live. In this step, you are working on your sales page. You're working on your payment systems. You're doing either a soft launch where you just hit publish on your website and it's available and the whole world can search and find you, or you're doing one-on-one sales calls or discovery calls so that you can close potential clients on those calls. So that can be a soft launch, or you're launching one-to-many. Maybe you're launching with a live workshop or a webinar or a training or a boot camp or a challenge. And all these things can either be free or paid. So this is what is happening. These are the key things you are working on in this step. You're also growing your leads after you launch. So you're growing your leads either by social media ads or Google ads or just organic marketing with your long form content. Maybe you have a blog or a podcast or a YouTube channel. You're also closing sales in this step because now you have launched. So you're growing your leads, you're closing sales, and you're optimizing your system as more and more clients sign up to work with you. You're optimizing your system so that you can continue to grow without burnout. So that is what is happening in this step. And the focus in this step, simply launch. To just launch your business. That's the focus here. To launch quickly and learn quickly, because the quicker you start learning what is working and what doesn't work, and you can refine your offer, refine your process, and continue to scale and build your business. So another focus here is improvement. You're learning, you're improving. You launch, you learn, you improve. Those are the three major things that are happening in this step. You launch, you learn, you improve. And that's how you scale and you continue to grow. Now, if you're unclear on how to start your service-based business, if you need help turning your goal into a clear, doable process with a clear strategy, with systems to help you actually take action with the limited time you have to work, I invite you to book a discovery call. Go to fromjobtobusiness.com to book your discovery call. On the call, we'll uncover what's blocking you from starting, the problems those blockers are creating, how to overcome them with clarity and confidence. And as a bonus, listen up, as a bonus, if you book your discovery call in this month, January 2026 only, you will receive the exact template checklist that I use to launch my coaching and consulting business using this 3-step process. So what I just walked you through is like a high level, but if you book your discovery call this month, January 2026, I am going to give you, as part of that call, the exact template checklist that I worked with every day that I sat down, checking off all these things using the 3 steps I just walked you through. By the end of the call, you will know your next best step to launch your service-based business while working your corporate job. You need simple processes to achieve big goals. No matter how big the goals are, once you have a strategy, a simple process you can follow daily, once you have the goals broken down, you can achieve any goal. My 3-step process will help you build the foundation first, build visibility next, then launch and grow your service-based business. If you're listening right now and you feel burnt out or busy, but you also feel the quiet nudge that says there's more, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not tired because you are doing too much. You are tired because you are carrying a big goal without a clear strategy or a process to achieve it. Big goals without structure create overwhelm, like I already said, and it makes it feel impossible to add anything else to your plate. But when your calling is broken into clear, focused steps, the work feels possible and more doable because you have replaced confusion with clear action steps. I'm excited for you because you now have a strategy and a process to start your service-based business today, one step at a time. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I pray it made you feel seen, taught you something new, and encouraged you to take action. If so, Would you please share this episode with someone in your world who needs help to transition from a corporate job to a thriving business? If today's episode resonated with you and you're ready to move from wondering to doing, I invite you to go to fromjobtobusiness.com to book your transition clarity call today. In just 60 minutes, you will get clarity from where you are now to where God is calling you to be in your business. You will leave with confidence and concrete next steps. Lastly, it will be a huge blessing to me if you could leave a review for this podcast on Apple Podcasts or the podcast app you are using to listen. This is the number one way I know you are getting value from the podcast. Until next time, always remember your expertise is needed, your calling is real, and I'm here to help you make it happen. So keep listening for more episodes. I'll meet you here next week.